Hello, gentle viewers. This is Guardian welcoming you back to Out of the Park Baseball 27 with the Cleveland Guardians. Thank you so much to everybody that watched my first video in this series. One of my best performing videos in a long time, and I hope you enjoyed it. In this episode, we're going to try to see if we can build on our postseason success from last year and end up with a better result this year. It would be nice if we did. As is tradition for my channel, I always like to begin by acknowledging the comments on the previous video. Beginning with Sweaty Baseballs, who says I still call them the I words, meaning the Indians. That's totally fine if that's what you want to call them. I've grown used to calling them the Guardians, and I don't want to call them by the old name. But I'm not going to judge you for calling them something different as long as you're not, I don't know, like a jerk about it. Razorhawk asks, how would I pick the next team? I think it'd be fun for you if the worst team in the league determines where I go next. For example, when the championship in the AL, I go to the worst team in the National League. That is exactly what my plan is going to be. I had actually planned to do it a little bit differently, where I would randomly choose a division in the opposite league, but I actually like Razorhawk's suggestion. So thank you very much. The pattern is real, enjoys the new StatCast, but he doesn't like the UI that much. He does appreciate trading and free agency more, which is great. Although they've been able to trick the AI. So thank you very much. That's good to know. Inside World 422 says Peterson is a right fielder. I don't quite know which Peterson he is referring to, unless it is a draft pick of some description. There are many Petersons in this world, so let me look up Peterson and see who it is here. I don't think it's Austin Peterson. Oh, it could be Bo Peterson, the guy that we picked in the first round. Yeah, he could be an okay right fielder. I'm certainly not disputing that. He wouldn't be a great third baseman, but I think he'd be an okay right fielder. He's got the skills for it. He just needs the practice at it. So I think Kay could see him playing right field pretty well. So that's a fair point. Thanks so much for the comment. I think I got most of the people here. CMP66, longtime subscriber. Thank you for being part of the channel. You might want to consider the new difficulty. It might be too easy on default. Whenever I play a video game, I always start with the default difficulty until I'm sure that I can handle it, but I'm definitely going to flag that for my future consideration. And last, longtime friend Ironhead34 said, oh, look at the return of old Charlotte Silverwolves friend George Valera. That's a deep cut. That's a deep cut. More specifically, Ironhead34 asked, is there any specific reason why I picked the 1 to 100 scale instead of 20 to 80? Pardon me. It is for one reason. It is because you get greater differentiation between players. Let's imagine something for a second. Just bear with me. You're trying to pick between 3 players, and all 3 of them are 55s. If that's all you have, they could really realistically be anywhere between, say, 51 and 59, depending on how out of the baseball does rounding. That's a pretty big gap, and that makes it hard to find out exactly how good a player is or could be. We could do 20 to 80 with just one increment, I think would be fine, but I like big numbers, so it makes me feel better about my life. That's it. So, thank you as always for the lovely comments. I always watch them, and I always read them, excuse me, and I'm interested to see how things progress in our save here. Jose Ramirez is still out for 2 more days. How rude. Speaking of things that are rude, it is time to talk about the off-season now. So in case you're new to my channel, I typically break every Out of the Park baseball video into two videos. Every season, rather. I do one for the off-season and one for the regular season. Last episode was different because I wanted to show you off the whole game, but hopefully these new videos will be a little bit more manageable, help you getting through them a little bit quicker. So, Without all that being said, let's dive in. So the first decision we have to make is who's going to be our new pitching coach. And I always like to promote from within whenever I can. I have a lot of money available, but I think it's not considering my development budget. Or maybe it is. Maybe I have a lot more money than I thought. Interesting. Okay. So we start with Andrew Moore. Andrew Moore is a reasonably good pitching coach. He's quite young. Okay teaching pitching, but he's not very good at these skills, which makes me concerned. He does have a very good relationship with Andrew Walters and Sam Hentges, so for that reason, he's not totally useless, but I have concerns about him. Michael Poole is average. Shane McCarthy is a pretty good coach, but he's not that great as a pitching coach. I think Shane McCarthy would be much better as a manager. One thing I want to start doing a little bit more, I keep forgetting things. I'm going to create a note for him. And this note is going to say, Shane McCarthy should be a manager. And then remind me. No, you don't need to remind me. That's fine. Create note. Oh, I just made a second unnecessary note. That was silly of me. There we go. So I'm going to try to use the notes a little bit more than I have in previous seasons. I don't know if it's going to make a difference or not, but it might. Kevin Herminio is the first guy who looks like a pretty decent coach, but I want to get somebody that can handle this stuff better. We have a very young coaching staff, which I greatly appreciate. Brandon League, no. Anderson Polanco. We're getting there, actually. How would you get along with my current team? Reasonably well. Personable is fine. Did they say he's personable? Am I going to do the crazy thing and make Anderson Polanco my major league pitching coach? He'd be pretty good at it. He wouldn't be outstanding, but he says outstanding right there, but the good relationships really sell him for me in a way that it wouldn't otherwise. And he's also good at development. He's not the perfect pitching coach, but I think if I'm trying to save money, I think making him my major league pitching coach is actually pretty smart. He is personable. Let's try this out. Not even saying this is a great move, but I'm saying it's a pretty good move. And it might end up being very beneficial to me in the long run. We are going to need a new pitching coach for the rookie league, which is all fine. Let me do coach ratings. Let me do teach pitching. Low in the minors, you always want to get guys that are good at mechanics because they're the ones that'll unlock top quality pitching performances out of your players. But I think to that end, I really, really like Jeffrey Sindrich. We'll see if he's willing to join us in the rookie league. All right, so that's the first thing to do every season. I check to make sure my coaching staff is filled out. We've accomplished that task for now. Next task is setting up our player development lab. Always sort by potential and always check the major league roster. You always want to make sure that guys that already made the team get the first crack at development. So Chase DeLauder's first season in the major leagues was not particularly encouraging. His power was fine, but he wasn't getting on base very consistently, and it's not because of his walk rate either. He's just not making enough contact. So we're going to get greedy. Mr. DeLauder, kindly work on your quality of contact. This will not be easy, but if he can unlock an ability to hit him for more contact, I think we're getting a much better result out of him. Parker Messick, probably want to work on movement. Or secondary pitches actually would be pretty smart. Let's do secondary pitches. And then I also want to look at Angel Ganau here. Or Angel Ganau, most likely. Work on your batting eye. This is one of my old-time favorites. I love teaching players how to pick up pitches because it always pays off. But in this case, I think it's especially crucial because if he can't get on base through walks, his batting tool is a little bit fluky. So I don't know how I feel about that. All right, so that's now taken care of. Now we can start working on the true prospects, the guys that really need our time and attention here. Bo Peterson is super duper 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 far from the major leagues. Like, it's not going to happen anytime soon. So I think the first thing I want him to work on is what he isn't very good at, which is not striking out. I think that's okay. I think this is a little bit gutsy, but I think the payoff is going to be pretty substantial. Travis Banana. Travis the Banana Bazana. I really need you to work on your probably gap power. Your real power would be even better, but I think gap power is where it's at right now. So work on your gap power. I'm hoping, by the way, to also get in some defensive reps for him, but I think it's more important to get his bat online, and then we can find a spot for him. Lorenzo Laurel, you need everything. I might as well let you lean into the tool you're already good at, though. Go ahead and generate some bat speed for me. Brennan Sieber, get to work on throwing strikes. And then Devin Sheeran is coming out of some college ball, so getting him to work on his control, I think, could be especially good. All right, that's our player development lab sorted. I've done that. I've done coaching. The last thing I do before I actually take my first sim is we're going to deal with arbitration. And oh lordy, it's about what I expected. All right. Kenley Jansen, thank you for your service. Go away. All right, let's make some easy choices first. Slade, I will happily offer you a 1-year deal. You've more than earned that. Done. Gavin Williams, you have put together 2 pretty good years back to back. In my headcanon, I don't start doing long-term deals until they've had 3 good years. But we're going to go ahead and give him his 1-year extension, which I think he has more than earned. He wants a little more money than that, no problem. 3.5 million works for me. Logan Allen doesn't want a very big raise, but there's also every evidence that Logan Allen isn't actually all that good. Nothing about his skill set screams this is the pitcher that I want on my team. He was pretty terrible. I think we're just going to non-tender him. We're going to wish him well, but we're going to non-tender him. Matt Festa was around. Oh, I don't think I have. Where is it? This. I wanted that included as well. The way I can see what his ERA would have been with a bit of FIP help. Okay, so he was hurt a little bit, but he actually wasn't that great. These numbers here indicate to me he's actually reasonably good. He's good at inducing the people to swing and miss, which is pretty tasty. Or is his whiff percentage? That's what I'm really interested in. Yeah, you were actually a pretty good pitcher last year with maybe just a little bit more luck. I think you could have been very, very effective. Hard hit, barrels, very few barrels permitted. O swing percentage. I need to look that one up. Give me pitching super stats, please. That is swing percentage. Oh, that's how often they swing, period. O contact is outside of the zone, C contact is inside of the zone. Got it. So looking at Matt Festa here, he had a pretty good whiff rate. Did an okay job. Like, everything about him seems that he should be better than he looks. But his fastball was really bad last year. His fastball wasn't getting it done. And that doesn't surprise me a huge amount. His velocity is actually pretty bad. So this type of performance is possible. But I am deeply concerned about his ability going forward. I think it is worth. Oh, he's already 33. Never mind. I'm not gonna pay a guy that's already 33 because it's not like he's gonna do better. Hunter Gaddis, on the other hand, a lot to like over here. Also, not a great fastball, which is weird because it looks like it should be better than it is. But I think the rest of his skill set plus his actual performance means, Mr. Gaddis, I would love for you to remain a member of the Cleveland Guardians at a healthy raise. That is what I would like to see. Sam Hentges is pretty good. Had a pretty good season. Not much to really go on here. We just do the thing. Just offer him a new deal. Piece of advice number one for people with small market teams: do not overpay for relief. Carlos Hernandez, I'm just going to tell you goodbye. Tim Herron, I'm going to tell you hello. Is it highly likely that this year is a mirage and that we cannot count on him ever doing this again? Absolutely. But he was so incredibly good that I don't care. Come on back, y'all. Excuse me. I apologize that my throat is being such a jerk today. Kate Smith. I would quite enjoy keeping you on this team for a few years. If I wanted a 5-year deal, then your salary demands shoot through the roof. Understood. I'm not going to do that. I don't have the kind of money to do what you want me to do with you. So we'll do a 1-year deal. We'll enjoy you while I have you. And then we'll almost certainly trade you. Bo Naylor is a pretty okay catcher. And if that sounds like I'm criticizing him, I'm not. I am not. A lot of his value comes from defense, but he wasn't useless on the base paths or at the plate. And I think that's good enough reason to keep an affordable catcher for another season. Bo Naylor, you are not the weakest link. Sorry that the Guardians traded your brother IRL. Brian Rocchio has a lot going for him except for his inability to hit baseballs. Good gravy. Do I keep Brian Rocchio? I want Gano to get a bigger role, but I am cognizant of the fact that Rocchio was actually pretty decent. And I think a little bit of consistency here goes a long way. And I think letting him have another season is fine. None of these deals are breaking the bank, by the way. Gabriel Arias. is a pretty great defender, but doesn't have a lot else to recommend him. Is that enough in the short term? I guess. I suppose. David Fry, I just have no interest in. Same for Nolan Jones. They can both enjoy their lives with other teams. Stephen Kwan. Stephen Kwan is a borderline MVP candidate. This is the kind of player that in a perfect world we'd want to keep forever. However, I cannot help but notice his offensive profile is not the sort of offensive profile that you can necessarily guarantee to be great year in and year out. It's I don't strike out. That is his offensive skill. And the rest of his skills combined are good, but not outstanding. There is a very high probability that he is going to be worse next year. So the question becomes, do we trade him? Or do we give him just a 1-year extension and then see where we are next year? So this is the calculus here, right? I have about $50 million money that I can spend in extensions. I would do a 3-year deal with him if his salary demands for the couple years of free agency are reasonable. I think that's unlikely to hurt us, and I think he's going to retain his value at least that long. But I'm also not 100% sure that I want to make any kind of risk. Game, why do you do this? Why would you put the stolen bases that far from the stolen base percentage? I swear, sometimes the game does this just to troll me. Like, it knows that I would find it aggravating, so it's like, hey, guess what, buddy? Just put it right there. Nerd. There it goes. Yeah. If I don't re-sign Stephen Kwan or I try to trade him, then the question becomes, what do I spend my money on instead? And I don't have an answer to that. I think this is a team that has a lot of potential, and it's a team that literally just made the postseason with one of the best lineups in the major leagues. Which, if you saw the real Guardians last year, you're like, gah? But it's true. It is an undeniable fact that we were actually pretty good at baseball last year. And I'd rather invest, honestly, if I'm going to invest money, rather invest it in pitching. All this is to say, I think Stephen Kwan gets 1 year, but I don't think I'm going to go beyond that. Unless, does Paul Dolan, is he like, take dipshit, re-sign Kwan? Okay, great. You want a new shortstop? I think I might be able to accommodate that one. You want me to build my farm system? I cannot do all of these things, but sure. Even Stephen Kwan. This is his last year of arbitration. Am I prepared to pay $22 million a year to a player who will almost certainly age poorly? No. Oh, they fixed the bug. Usually, if you would offer a team option the first time, it would be like you want $0 for the team option, but that's obviously not the case. If he will take this deal, I will give it to him. He will take it. This is fine. We get a year of arbitration, a year of free agency, and we have 2 years that we control his future. All these are very good things in my opinion here, and I'm willing to spend that money. Hedges, Jansen, and Jones can all enjoy their team, their tenures with some other team. Wilfredo Antunes, I'd like to offer you a minor league deal. Same for Nick Enright. Same for your mom, Gomez. Got him. And then Aiden Curry and Steven Perez. If Austin Hedges would take a minor league deal, I would offer it to him, but I am not paying him actual money. I refuse. So thank you, but no thank you. All right. We're going to go ahead and advance some time a little bit and then see what we're looking at. Jeffrey Sindrich, it's the best offer you've gotten so far. It's probably the only offer you've gotten so far, but I'll take it either way. We get Hentges, we get all these guys. The fans are really excited about Stephen Kwan. They're really excited about Cade Smith. We got our pitching coach. A lot of contracts signed nice and early. Fantastic. A couple more people need to make their decisions here, but I feel pretty good about our progress already. Hunter Gaddis, Bo Naylor, all excited to come back. You'd love to see it. With all that being said, there's not really much of a reason to do anything but just sim up to free agency. There's nothing else that's on my plate that needs to be addressed. I got a Rookie of the Year, Gold Glover, and Silver Slugger. Nice. All right, let's look at the awards that we won here. A Gold Glove for Stephen Kwan. Nice. Silver Slugger for Jose Ramirez. Nice. Ralphie Velasquez won Rookie of the Year. Honestly, one of the biggest reasons why we looked so good last year is he very clearly is already highly competent at baseball. And he's only going to get better as he gets older. That's the good stuff, you guys. Those are all the awards that we won, which is a little disappointing, but not surprising. If we take a quick peek over at Stephen Kwan, I wonder where he finished in the MVP voting. He must not have placed very high, which is reasonable. Like, he was a good player. He was a very good player, but I didn't think he was really an MVP candidate. Tariq Skubal to the fucking White Sox. That would be quite the betrayal, wouldn't it? Hey, Stephen Kwan finished a respectable 6th, okay? And Jose Ramirez only 2 spots below him. That's good stuff. I'm proud of our guys. But we have money to spend, and we want to spend the money as intelligently as possible. And what that means to me is picking up people that are going to have an immediate impact. Can Angel Ganao play shortstop? He can, but he wouldn't be great at it. Brian Rokia wouldn't be great at it either, so that's a problem for future me. Gabriel Arias is a glove and nothing else. If we could get a competent offensive shortstop, I think we would see a pretty big return on that investment. I've got nothing against my current crop of outfielders, but other than Kwan and DeLauder, most of them don't have good pedigrees. But I think starting pitching is where we could really see a big return. Our pitching rotation is quite young. Our bullpen isn't that old either, but I think some smart signings could really have a big impact. Let's see who's available. Let's all pause for a second. Okay, done. Chan by Chan, what did I literally just tell you, friends? I said don't spend this much on a reliever, so I'm not gonna. All players, please. Come on, Mouse, you can do it. So here's an example of the kind of player I actually could get interested in. If Brady House could play any position other than third base, I would very strongly consider it. I guess who was my DH last year? Oh, it was Nick Manzardo, who was actually pretty good at his job. Interesting. I'm surprised Brady House got released. Unless you just didn't want to give him a new deal. You want a 3-year contract and we guarantee the starting lineup. Your problem is you can only. I'm gonna guess you could play the outfield in a pinch. You wouldn't be terrible at it. Alejandro Barriaga is not that exciting, especially not at the age of 33 already. I think that's a free agent I can take a miss on. Hey, it's what the IRL Guardians did. They signed Sean Armstrong in the offseason this year. He'd be a pretty decent addition to the bullpen. If I was looking to get some veteran leadership, I think Sean Armstrong would be a solid choice. Man, letting you stand around in the outfield is not the worst idea. I just question committing real major league money to a guy who hasn't performed in the majors yet. What if we did a 1-year deal? If you're willing to take a 1-year deal, then I will offer you that 1-year deal and we'll try to find a way to make it work. Bruce Gratterall looks like he could be an okay pitcher. He didn't have an amazing year last year, though. He actually struggled pretty badly. And I don't want to trust the ratings too heavily, right? The ratings can betray you. They can betray you very much. Matt Strom, also not an exceptional pitcher. Stromy. Nah. I don't think so. Jose Alvarado is a pretty decent pitcher, all things considered. I could definitely see him being a useful player. I don't know, guys. I have quite a bit of money, but I just as soon spend it on scouting as I would spend it on a player. Robert Gasser is okay, I suppose. He's had opportunities at the major level, and he hasn't done anything with them. Stamina's okay. Big trouble with righties. Oh, he's a lefty. You're ridiculous, Luis Robert Jr. Absolutely ridiculous. Danny Coulombe. Not the worst pitcher we could potentially add. They're all lefties, though. And I feel like my pen is replete with left-handed options. I've already got 3. Admittedly, one of them is actually a starter, but... Alright, I want a swingman. I want a starting pitcher who won't embarrass himself if we need one. Alejandro Barriga is not that player. I'd rather pay for a little bit more upside if I'm going to do that. Tyler Mahle would be okay as a reinforcement to the rotation. None of his pitches are all that good. I think they've really changed how they calculate overall now. Because looking at this side of this thing and turning over here and saying, "Wow, that's a 51 now," this leaves me with a lot of concerns here. He did get people to swing at his stuff, but he also allowed plenty of hard contact. But he didn't walk people. But he also didn't strike people out. And he's already 32. So, I don't know, man. I'm probably just being too greedy. Shota Imanaga. Shota Imanaga is the exact kind of pitcher that I think we want to acquire. He's cheap, but more importantly, I think he's got something to prove. He also doesn't cost me anything immediately. Let's do it. That's a very smart baseball acquisition. I beg pardon, what fucking world is Matt Boyd worth $23 million? It's not this one, that's for sure. I like Robert Gasser quite a bit. I think he's got some real potential here. With really good breaking stuff, and he's got the kind of skills that I think there's more to his story here. We're gonna go and offer Mr. Glasser here a contract as well. And we'll do major league with minor league option. Minor league with major league option, I think makes a lot of sense to me. All right, that's pitching sorted. I'd like to get one more reliever of reasonably high skill with reasonably low cost. But not yet another lefty. That's where I draw the line. I don't need infinite lefties, guys. That's too many lefties. Far too many. Apologies. I try not to make as many loud noises as I can, but today my body is like, you're not going to be able to get to your mute button in time. I like Dennis Santana very much. I think it would be a wonderful addition to my bullpen. You want a 3-year deal with a no trade clause. You're not going to close, or you're not going to get a no trade clause, but I will give you. Oh, they didn't fix the bug. I will give you some team options. No. I'm not giving you the closer's role. That's where I draw the line. I'm okay with spending this money. It's going to be an easy contract move if it turns out that he isn't what we think he is. But he's still 30. He's probably got another good year or two, and I think it's a reasonable ask. Maybe ask yourself, why am I only signing Brady House for 1 year? Because he doesn't have Major League service time, which means I get to re-sign him at his current salary next year anyway. One more pitcher. I feel like one more pitcher is probably okay, but maybe not required. Yeah, I think I'm good. I think this is where I'm going to do my shopping this year. Like, I cannot afford Tariq Skubal, and I'm not even going to embarrass myself in making an offer to him. He would be so good, though, wouldn't he? What a glorious, glorious pitcher he would be. But no, that's not going to happen. I think any substantial improvement's going to have to come from within. I keep looking here for my AAA team. It's very disconcerting. What do we do with Travis Bazzana? Well, the first thing we do is we add him to the 40-man, if he's not already, which he is. Great. All right. I'm going to trust the commenter from last season who said the AI will never take anybody that's under 40, which means Matt Wilkinson should be able to be kept on the roster without getting through the 40-man. Oh, Travis Bazzana isn't actually eligible to be added yet because he's still quite young. Understood. I feel like I'm not going to rush you. I think that there's a level to this game that I think you could possibly achieve. So we're going to give you some time to improve. But yeah, so if we're looking for high-level pitching that we could get at a moment's notice, it's Josh Hartle or Carl Steven. Neither of whom are exceptional pitchers at this very second, although there's a lot to recommend both of them. Mr. Steven, get your fastball working, my friend. This is a big problem. It looks like you're serving up some big old meatballs. And that tracks. Like, that's how you did in Double-A. So I need you to get the home runs under control. I need you to get the expected slugging down. Because that's deeply concerning me. Yeah. It's not the end of the world, but this is not good enough. Yeah, 40 barrels is bananas. All right. I think this is a good enough start to our off season. Let's simulate forward a bit and see how our contracts work. Just saying, Stephen Kwan was the second best player in the major leagues, according to WAR. Dennis Santana thinks he deserves even more money. It's not about the money for him, it's that he wants to be the closer. Yeah, I'm never going to make you the closer, so we're going to have to find a new reliever. Wait, what? You didn't even give me an opportunity to sign you. How rude. How incredibly rude. Like, damn, son, you wouldn't even talk to me. You just instantly signed. That's so mean of you. Yeah, Dennis Santana, you can go to hell. I am not committing what you want. Give me a reliever, please. That makes me so unbelievably sad that he just instantly just jumped and is like, you know what? Fuck you. How rude. I could bring on Sean Armstrong. I think he's still got something left in the tank. So I'm kind of into it. But then again, this is what I did for Kenley Jansen last year, and it bit me in the butt. Maybe I will offer Gratterol a deal. Maybe this is okay. No, I have too many lefties anyway. It's got to be a righty. Matt Strom certainly is not a very good pitcher. Yeah, you allow too much contact. Like, looking at his how opposing hitters feasted upon you, I don't think you're a very good risk. Jason Foley, you look like the kind of guy that knows his place. Welcome to the Cleveland Guardians. So my only swingman now is Imanaga. I'm not opposed to that, but I don't think it's enough. Give me Ben Brown, please. Oh, you want a 1-year contract? I'm not going to give you a guarantee contract. So this is my question. My question is it worth paying Sandy Alcantara to essentially rehab for a whole season and then hope he comes back as an excellent pitcher the following season? I think it's a little bit too expensive for me. I think $9.5 million is kind of a ripoff. I don't think it's a price I'm willing to pay right now. Mitch Keller could be okay if I wanted one more starting pitching option. I just don't feel it, man. I don't feel like signing a starting pitcher that doesn't measurably improve my team right now. Like, the rotation last year was fine, and it's young. I just want another arm or two that I can rely upon in case things go wrong. Do I want to try to get a better outfielder? No, I did say I want to look at shortstops, didn't I? What do we have in the shortstop department? Don't be absurd is what we have right there. Miguel Rojas is really, really good. He's a better shortstop than I currently have defensively, but his bat is god awful. And I think for that reason, I think it's worse having him than having Arias. He's also 37, which is not a great year to be. Edmundo Sosa is fine, I suppose. I like him better than the other guy, but not enough to sign him, I don't think. Alejo Lopez is very interesting to me. Like, his only ability is hitting for average, so I don't think I'm gonna do it, but it is an interesting idea. Is Chad Stevens actually a Chad? Not really. He's okay. All right, I think we go ahead and we just keep moving on with the offers we've already made. I think this is just not a great free agent class in the middle, which is what I want. And I'm not going to commit to spending a lot of money on a player when I don't think it's going to be outcome determinative. This upsets me. I believed in you, sir, and I was going to let you be a starting pitcher, but you instantly just said, no, fuck you, I want to pitch for the Royals. What a rude guy. Hall of Fame voting. Braun Cano. Paul Goldschmidt deserves it, in my opinion. Greinke deserves it. King Felix deserves it. Andrew McCutchen deserves it. Yadi Molina and Buster Posey deserve it. Alex Rodriguez deserves it. Quite honestly. Joey Votto deserves it. Easy. I like Adam Wainwright plenty. I wonder if they're ever gonna have gentle curbs, like where people get more and more votes each year until they eventually get elected. Or this game is just gonna be like, no, screw you, you can't have it. A lot of people seem convinced Jacob DeGrom is definitely a Hall of Famer. I could see it based on his peak, but I'm not necessarily going to say that I think he's as clean cut of for a Hall of Famer as some pundits believe. All right, let's get the votes out there. Trade proposal. Wait, you're gonna give me Cade Smith? I've already got one of those. Sam Hentges is a reasonably good reliever, and you're offering me pretty mid players. So I think I'm gonna decline this offer. Shoto Imanaga did sign with me, which is nice. We didn't move anywhere in the lottery. Sad. Big sad. Hmm. Hmm. I don't want Kyle Crick is the problem. In case you're curious, NQ means not qualified, so that's you're wanting to. These numbers can't be trusted. I mean, this isn't the worst deal I could possibly make, but I still think CJ Cavis has something to offer us, and I'm not going to give up on him yet. I want to give him another opportunity in spring training and maybe as like a reserve to see if he's still got something in his bat. But I'm not going to, this is not a good enough return for me. What if it wasn't for Cavis? That you want somebody really good? Yeah, we're going to say no to this one. Thanks, but no thanks. All right, my friends. Crucial fact, I have lots of open 40-man spots, so we can be big players here in the Rule 5 draft, which is exactly what I intend on doing. Oof. I mean, I'm not going to look at anybody yet. I need to see who's actually still around. I lost Shota Imanaga. I mean, I guess I should have expected that, right? That one's on me. Okay. Sir Winowski has a lot to recommend him. He's got nice velocity for a lefty, great fastball curveball, an excellent cutter. Secondary stat says he's got an incredible breaking ball. And you actually weren't that bad at walking last year. Interesting. This concerns me a great deal, and it's worth noting that last season was his first year in the minors, so he didn't have a terrible walk rate. I just think you're going to be too wild. So, as much as I'm kind of intrigued by you, who for Everson Pereira? I don't really need him though. He's got a lot to recommend him. I just don't need him. Do I? Am I being foolish not even considering acquiring Everson Pereira? Maybe I am. Maybe you would be an okay outfielder. Yeah, we can grab you. Done. I'm going to feel dumb if I don't at least try Servanovsky, especially if nobody else wants him. Who do we have that's more established? Clayton Beater is not a starter. He's a relief pitcher. To that end, I think he'd be an okay reliever. So I think picking him up to turn him into a reliever could pay decent dividends. I'm just not convinced. Washington Nationals legend Patrick Sandoval could be ours. I don't think so. Ryan Bergert? Nope. I'd rather bet on interesting potential than I would on mediocre right now. Patrick Copen is okay. Again, this is problematic, but I'm willing to give him a shot. I don't think I could Copen if I let him go. Do you get it? Wait, where'd he go? There he is. Oh, Michael Arroyo. Nah, you're not that exciting. You're okay, I guess. Like, you've got some okay defensive skills. You wouldn't be an embarrassment at any infield position. And I think you've got at least enough of a bat to be interesting. But I just don't see you as being terribly valuable right this split second. But I could be into it. Like, I don't see any reason we can't offer opportunities to people and then just not keep them. Is Palmquist even better than Copen? Palmquist is slightly better than Copen. He's got issues. But his pitches look okay. His stuff is reasonable. His control is tolerable. I guess we could do that. And I think this is the last guy that I'm going to pick up in the Rule 5. But I could have Homer Bush Jr., who at least inherited his father's speed, if nothing else. He's kind of a fun little reserve, so I guess for that reason, we can give him a shot too. And then I swears, that's it. I've gotten what I wanted to out of the Rule 5 draft, which is just grabbing a whole bunch of shit, throw at the wall, and see what sticks. Losing Imanaga, I think, will genuinely hurt, potentially. I think he had a chance to be a meaningful starter and pitch meaningful innings for us. But as it is, oh well. Oh well is my response. Jason Foley is amped up to be a Guardian. Hell yeah. That's what we're looking for here. Guys that want to be part of the Guardians, the Guardians. We ended up picking up Brady House, which is pretty solid, I think. We could go over the roster cap, by the way, because it's the off season, and all these guys will get a chance in spring training. Most people are frustrated. That's kind of a bummer. International League and strikeouts. There's Call Steven, second. Nice. Very nice. Okay, we're doing good. It was a busy off season. It's been a busy off season. All right, now we get to sign our international free agents. Let's go. We have one of the highest caps, so it's basically just up to us to choose what we want. All right. I understand why people would be attracted to a guy like Luis Cervantes, but his strikeout rate is going to make him a nightmare in a lot of ways. Strikeout rate can be fixed, it's true, but I don't think we're smart betting on him improving that strikeout rate. What about George Jones? George Jones is good at everything. He is very good. Almost everything. Bummer. Fernando Lozano here is actually pretty exciting as players go. He's a switch hitter. Good defense, but not great. Okay speed. His power is pretty trash, but the rest of him looks pretty good, actually. Pretty real good. We have the fastest catcher in recorded history. He's not a very good catcher, but he's an okay outfielder. Man, look at that speed, though. I'm kind of into it, but I also understand that he is a very fragile prospect in that he's not really a catcher. And if he's not a catcher, then he's a mediocre outfielder. But I like where his head's at. I mean, I guess the smart thing to do is to grab Cervantes and hope for the best. But mm, you're so unbelievably raw, but I think that's kind of what we need here. Let's assume everything develops exactly as expected that it will. He's still going to be a really valuable hitter, even if everything else about him fails. Even if he turns out exactly as we expect, yes, he's going to strike out a lot, but he's also going to hit for a decent average. I think we'd be doing ourselves a disservice not to grab on the best possible player and then let whatever happens happen. There's also Francisco Sandingo, otherwise known as Five Deuce, but I don't think that does it for me. Let's try it. I would love for you to come play for me too. What if I gave you just the maximum? What if we did that? What if I just offered you the most money you could ever hope to see and you just signed with me so I didn't have to worry about it? It worked, you guys. Dennis Santana signed with the Tigers. Did he actually get more? He got his closer role, which is what he wanted. And he got his no trade clause. So I guess that's really all it would have taken. Cano, interesting. Molina and Greinke all made it. Obviously, real life Robinson Cano isn't going to be elected in the Hall of Fame because of his steroid abuse. But, I mean, at least people are trending in the right direction here, right? Poor Anthony Rendon. There was a time when people genuinely thought he was going to be like an incredible player and he just couldn't stay healthy. It's true what they say, that the most important ability is availability. And when you're constantly hurt like he was in his career, it's no wonder that you don't work out the way you expect. You've increased my budget. The Athletics through the San Antonio as the Whiskey Jacks. That's fucking phenomenal. I cannot for 1 second criticize this. What does their logo look like? Is it a big W? Boo. But what a name. That's quite honestly incredible. I am delighted beyond all recognition. What a lad. What an absolute unit. How much money do I actually have to spend now? I have about $59 million. What have I spent it on scouting? What if that happened? Beautiful. This is the correct decision, by the way. Investing heavily in scouting and in other things is only going to pay off. Oh, yeah. Give me attendance history down here. Give me cost-efficient players right here. And then give me revenue expense history here, and then give me cost efficiency right here. Why do I have the player payroll twice? Oh, I see. Okay. We have a little bit more there. Cool. I guess that's not totally useless. I don't think extension information is all that good, so what if I put the payroll up here? And that'll tell me, like, how much I'm paying. And then down here, we can have options and bonuses, I think is good to keep in mind. All right, let's advance up to the start of spring training. I feel pretty good about our budget decision so far. I love Whiskey Jacks. Players are getting a little bit worse, which is concerning. Mr. Serwanowski lost most of his stamina. That's kind of gross. But I'm still willing to give him an opportunity, right? Ralphie Velasquez has really been putting the time in this offseason, which I'm excited to see. Jose Ramirez is getting worse, like substantially worse. That's kind of a bummer. Size matters. Jake Berry is the tallest person, tied for tallest in Double A. Which is the one who plays for me? Who's the fat ass? It's Holcomb. I'm okay with that. 255 pounds is very large for a baseball player. Not for a football player, but for a baseball player, definitely. I think it would even be big for a football player. Like, Myles Garrett isn't 255 pounds. All right, guys, I'm not going to look at this stuff. It's all meaningless, but spring training has begun, which is not meaningless. All right. So, Hartle, Steven, Yorman, Enright, Banana, Khalil Watson, question mark? Sure. The more the merrier. It's spring training. Hope springs eternal, etc., etc. All right. I'm going to run a 6 AM rotation for spring training purposes. So we have... Can you stop this follower bullshit? Do not just let him pitch. Like, it's not like he has low stamina. He's a good pitcher. Just let him pitch, bro. Interesting. We think Espino is going to be our starting option. Okay, fine. All this is fine. Linoops, go ahead and do your thing, bench coach. Is anybody important being benched? Nope. Moving people up and down the lineup, which is fine, but hopefully we're getting lots. Yeah, we're getting lots of reps for other players, so I think that's valuable and it's a good thing. Mansardo. Do not sum up to opening day. That's a trap. Remember, it's always a trap. The correct answer to sim to the day before opening day, so you can demote people or release them, whatever you got to do. Chase the Lauders improved his BABIP. A lot of people did not improve at all. And Angel Ganal got even worse. Gross. I should have enough time to get some defense working. Mr. Banana, get in there and work on your defense. Bo Peterson, work on your... Learn a new position, actually. Let's see if we can teach you the outfield like our friend Insight World thought we should do. That's a useful use of our time. Caceres, work on your outfield defense, I suppose. Who on my current roster? Angel Ganal could probably use a little help at defense. Chase the Louder desperately needs work on his defense. I think letting him get better at center field is going to pay dividends if we can make that work. Kyle Manzardo, you're not here for defense. Bo Naylor is here for defense. Let's have him work on catching some more. Brian Rocchio is fine. Angel Martinez is fine, but we could maybe have him work on his infield defense. Ralphie Velasquez, I suppose, could work on his first base work. Question mark. I don't think it's terribly useful. Oh, you can play the outfield? Work on your outfield defense, actually. It makes you far more valuable to me. If I could potentially put you out there in the outfield and then free up first base or somebody else. Yorman Gomez is putting in the work here early on. Khalil Watson looks better. Chase DeLauder looks exceptionally better, which is great to see. If we get a big year out of DeLauder, I think this team just looks better from top to bottom. Look at Kyle Scott putting in some work. Bo Peterson getting slightly worse. Okay. I really do appreciate the color coding. There's just something about it that feels very comforting. Oh, green is good, red is bad. Fancy that. You know what I should have done? I should have set people up. Only Bo Naylor is on pace to actually do the things he's supposed to do. That's rough, buddy. That's big yikes. Poor Yorman Gomez had a real chance to have a meaningful season, but now he's injured. Rip. L. Rippington. All right. All the players have done the player things. Let's look at our pitching staff now. 20 pitchers. We don't want more than 14. Let's start peeking. Serwanowski already gone. I'm no longer willing to invest my precious 40-man spot in you. Wilkinson, you had an okay year in AAA, but I think you need a lot more seasoning before I can trust you, so you go down to the minors. Torres Stefan to the minors. Palmquist can potentially stay, I think. I'm going to keep looking, but that's a possibility. Hartle to the minors. We're down to 16 pitches. I still got to get rid of 3 more. I think Sobrowski goes to the minors. I think Carl Steven goes to the minors with the understanding that he's not going to be there for very long, I don't think. And then Nick Enright goes to the minors. Yeah. Espino, you can be the emergency starter and get some long relief work in. And then we're going to roll out with 5-man rotation here. And this is fine. Like, this is an okay bullpen. We've got a lot of skill in it. Rotation is decent, if not spectacular. I'm all on board with that. Got 36 position players. That's too many position players. That's way too many. CJ Kafis back to the minors with you. Travis Banana back to the minors with you. I'm gonna come back to you, Brady House. There is a world in which you could stay on this roster. I just don't know what's this one. All right, Angel Martinez's primary ability is the fact he can also handle the outfield. Canal's also only 22 and has barely even played in AAA. I think letting him go back to AAA is fine to start the year. Khalil Watson can go to the minors. I don't need Homer Bush Jr. and Everson Pereira. They're both basically the same player, except Pereira is a much better bat. And Homer Bush Jr. is just very fast and plays good defense. I love me some guys that are very fast and play good defense, but we'll talk. Brennan to the minors, easy choice. Advincula to the minors, easy choice. 4 more people got to go. Pereira's better than Rodriguez, right? Like, I'm not crazy because he's so good defensively and he's got a pretty good stick. So I think Rodriguez can go to the minors. 6 outfielders is still one too many. I think Daniel Schneemann can probably profitably go back to the minors. Didn't really do much of anything. So 2 infielders have to go. I think Arroyo is one of them. I think that's an easy selection, sending him back to the Mariners. And then it's a question of, do we keep Angel Martinez or do we keep Brady House? I think we keep Brady House in the minors. Haha, you thought you were going to go up in the majors. Nope. Like, there is a realistic world where Brady House in a year or 2 is ready to take over from Jose Ramirez, but that's not happening yet, and it may never happen at all. So that's kind of how I feel right now. So let's get Brady House some more experience in our AAA, and then we can think about moving him around later. All right. Do I have last year's stats? No, they've all been reset. That's what I thought would happen. Poop. El poop. Peterson definitely gets called up to AAA. We can call up Rodney Bruin, Will Dion, Cesarini, Jason Chorio, and Alphonsine Rosario. I'm just looking for the green arrows right now. Oh, Blaine Brown. Why did I lock him? Why did I lock you? I think because I wanted to force you to be an outfielder rather than trying to have you pitch. But I think you did both. Did you hit okay? No, you did not hit. Concerning. Don't use him two-way player anymore. Let's just make him a full-time outfielder because I think he actually has a chance to have a major league career as an outfielder. And if you can occasionally throw innings, then that's fine too, but that's not what you're here for. You're here to hit baseball, so work on that, please. Let's do a quick review of all of our high potential rookies. And then we're just going to look at them and we're going to see if they had a good year. And if they did, then we'll consider a promotion. All right. So these guys we're not going to look at. Let's start with Caden Favors. Caden Favors has put together some consistently decent minor league system seasons. I think we can give him a promotion. All right, guys that are 35 overall do not belong in the minor leagues anymore. They deserve to be elsewhere. All right. I don't want to gut double A, so we're gonna just hang out for a second here. Jace LaViolette definitely gets called up. Michael Kennedy has had 2 consecutive great years at high A. I think he deserves a chance at full season A ball. Dowry Fernandez is fine, but not exciting. I think letting him cook a little bit longer in A ball is fine. Jogly Garcia gets promoted, mostly because his name is Jogly. Robert Arias destroyed pitching. I think he's more than earned his promotion to Double A. I think. Caceres had an okay but not outstanding year. I'm going to promote him to High A. Braylon Dowdy, he didn't have an amazing season, but he is getting good enough that I think he needs to be challenged for himself to keep developing. Devin Sheeran, how was your first year in the major and professional baseball? Pretty bad. We're going to leave you there. Will Hines, the kids call him Heine. 40 pretty good innings. I think it's good enough to go up to A ball. Hunter Elliott, excellent first season. Oh, that's his college numbers. Oh, he's 24. He definitely should be in A ball. He should not be in rookie league at all. Bo Peterson, that's his high school numbers. That's his high school numbers. Okay, anyone that's, yeah. Cal Scott is 24. Get into A ball, you nerd. Actually, get into Double A. I'm going to take these lower guys. I'm going to demote them just because I got to put them somewhere to try to even out the rosters a bit. Brennan Sieber is too good to start in Rookie League. Let me get you starting in low A here. Hyeho had an outstanding season in high A. I don't know why he's in low A at all. Will Cousland definitely deserves a promotion to Double A. Mick Cousland, pardon me. How dare I know. And then everyone else here can kind of hand out. Ricardo Romero has shown that he can probably handle a bit more responsibility in A ball. There we go. All this is concluded. We have the 26-man roster. Let me set the lineup. All right. Mirror, mirror on the wall. Who's the best contact hitter of them all? It's Stephen Kwan. So quite naturally, Stephen Kwan is going to be the leadoff guy. The only question is whether he would hit second, but I think we can let him hit leadoff. That's done. Then I think it's genuinely Chase the Louder. I think, genuinely speaking, letting him hit second is going to pay big dividends this season. I feel good about him. Then we have Jose Ramirez, and then we have Ralphie Velasquez. And then Kyle Manzardo with his nice power rating. Playing right field, I think it's going to be George Valera. I think he did okay in his first season. We could potentially platoon him if we want, but I think letting him at sixth is fine. Then it's going to be Bo Naylor, Brian Rocchio, and Gabriel Arias. Give me a depth chart, please. I agree with all of this. Let's move on. And then literally the only change I'm going to make here is I'm going to swap Valera for Pereira. Hey, look at that. Valera, Pereira, Valera, Pereira. Let's call the whole thing off. There we go. Pereira is quite deadly against left-handed pitching, so I think I appreciate him having a chance to jack some bombs for us. Yes, I did say it like that. No, I'm not going to change my mind. CJ Capus is going to be out for 2 days. Okay, fine. No improvement. You try to learn second base. Okay. I know that you can just force him to play a different position. I understand that. But it's still bullshit that it automatically picks something without even asking you. My friend, I'm going to take control of you, and you're going to be playing in right field. We're going to see if you can develop any kind of skill in the outfield, which is, I think, where your future lies. Who did get better? Ganao did. DeLauder didn't get better, but didn't get worse either. Bo Naylor got better as a catcher, and everyone else just didn't do anything. Okay. Any top 100 where am I ranking the minor league system? I am here? Interesting. I don't necessarily agree with that, but I guess it's fine. I guess. How am I feeling? Pretty good. This is mostly last year's lineup, except Ralphie Velasquez starts on the opening day roster. But everyone else here started or played significant plate appearances for us last year. We had the third best offense in the league. I don't think it's unreasonable to just run it back, right? Rotation is basically the same. Bullpen has 2 new pitchers in it with Palmquist and Foley. Both of them I think are going to be pretty handy. Get Cantillo to nerd? No. I think letting Gavin Williams be the opening day starter is fine. I do want us, if we can manage it, to start unlocking better pitching. I want us to find a good young starter or two deep in the minors that's ready to have a big role on the club. Do I talk to Jose Ramirez about an extension? No, right? If I just hit this button just for fun, oh god. It's pretty team friendly, I'll admit. I mean, I guess until he actually starts slowing down, I shouldn't assume he's going to slow down. We'll just see how this season goes. But if he does have another great season, then we'll have to strongly consider what to do with him going forward. Any salaries here that need to concern me? Sam Hentges is probably not going to come back. I can ask. Do you want to come back? You want to come back for fairly minimal raise? I like your attitude, and we'll come back to you. But I don't think this is the time of the season to make that kind of offer for a long-term deal. Manzardo. Kevin Williams is okay. Bo Naylor is okay. A lot of guys here are just okay, and since they're just okay, it's hard for me to justify spending a bunch of money on them. We'll see what happens, though. Why do people like Will Brennan so much? You know what? Let's end the episode by seeing if I can get somebody to, like, want him. Is anybody like Will Brennan? What an incredible specimen of baseballing excellence. No, of course not. Don't be absurd. Okay. So, I mean, did much change? Not a lot changed, but I think we've got a good foundation with the amount of money we're pouring into player development and into scouting. And I think that last year's team was pretty good, and I think running it back with last year's team is not a mistake. But we're going to see what happens, my friends. We're going to let things progress. We're going to let things breathe, and then we're going to come back strong and see where things are at the end of next season. So I hope you've enjoyed today's episode. If you have, please remember to like the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already. You can join me for new OOTP content every single Friday. And for now, so the Spire on Mondays. So you can look forward to that as well. Until next time, this has been Guardian. Thank you for watching, and I bid you good day.